Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, come on. It's coming. It's working. It's thinking. Everybody keep it fresh in my mind. Keep it fresh in your mind. Fresh in your mind. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Here we go. It's coming. It's thinking. It's spinning. Everybody take a deep breath. Hold it.
I like
let it out because
it's visual, so I can take pictures. That's what I use.
Where they go around in circles.
Yeah, it is. It's circles and circles and circles and circles and circles and circles and circles and. Can you guys see my screen or no?
It's saying you live, Jackie.
What'd you say?
No, it just says live on YouTube right now.
It's saying you live.
I'm live. I am alive. I checked my pulse this morning.
No, you're live on YouTube, it says.
All right, cool. We got it. All right, because Bill's name's up here. So, Bill, your name is, since we're talking about you, your name, your BSAWASTUK is up here. Can you believe it?
Wow.
Bill's up here. So, anybody want to recap what I just said to Bill, including Bill?
Really? I'm not very good with notes, but I know you were talking about the dealership and what time to be there in the office and put it on 3000 mode. I got that. When they come back in the evening, in case it rains, because there's a cord in the window.
Yeah, well, in the evening I came back because I wanted to shore things up. Urgency was a matter of urgency for me. So 3,000 square feet I'd put it on a box in the back, okay, Candy?
Right.
But I also put it on away mode.
How many hours, Jackie? You just put it on
8 hours.
Okay.
So if it was there 10 hours, and I forgot, Bill. I forgot. You don't let this. What I also did, I would focus on no matter what day I could get there for sure. But on Tuesdays and Thursdays or Mondays and Thursdays, dealerships are open late. So that was a good deal to do as well. But, I always came back in. I always came in and approached the manager of the facility, the head cheese, the big cheese, okay? And I went back to the big cheese. I go into the detail shop. The manager would tell me, this thing works great. And what, did he get the odor out, Fred? It got it out. Let's go talk. Can you come with me just real quickly? Let's get your manager. Tell him what. Yeah, I already told him. He's excited. So, yeah, sure. So you get a little testimonial on that, whether they keep it or not, but then you follow up with them. But I had very good success. It wasn't hard. It wasn't difficult. Gave them a deal on the units. Okay, I did. I probably made $150 per instead of $300 or $400. I did give them a deal at first, and once I had enough testimonials, it spoke a lot of volume. So it's all about having a schedule, right, Chris? It's all about we get on these calls, which we're going to ask everybody. Anybody want to share their goal this morning and what they're going to accomplish by the end of the week? Or do you also want to share about what you've done this far this week? I mean, what has your, the goal that you set, and how far are you? It's the middle of the week. It's halftime in the week. Have you accomplished some of that goal? So before we get into that segment, I want to welcome everybody. My name is Jackie Anding. Privilege and honor to be with you here. Been with the company for over 17 years. And yes, my home office is right now on covered on my front porch. And it's a beautiful day here. And it's just the privilege and honor to have freedom and flexibility to do the things that I want to do when I want to do them. I don't have a boss to report to. I don't have somebody hanging over my head. If I need more money for something, I don't have to worry. I can't go to my boss and say, hey, boss, can you give me an extra $3,000 in my check this month? What do you think he'd say? Ooh, that squirrel almost didn't.
He would say no.
He would say no? You sure he would say no?
Hey.
Well, wouldn't he want you to go out and earn it yourself?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or if you had to, Candy, wouldn't you do this? Wouldn't you go get a second and third job? You would. Right? And that's no fun either, because now the husband or wife never sees the family. What I'm trying to project is a vision. Leaders are visionaries. They give you a vision of what their life has looked for, so far. And they talk about it. They talk about it because they have to cast the vision for their people to see what that can feel like, what that can be like. And it's a real deal here. I don't have a college education. okay? I have a people education. I came here, I had a lazy education, I had an undisciplined education, you name it. I had a good personality, education. The squirrel is, I swear the squirrel's going to jump on me, guys. And if you hear me scream, you'll know why. He is like jumping off the roof, onto the fence, onto the tree, onto the shed, and he's like, and my dog's up here, so we could hear some rustling, okay? But, guys, have a pen and paper. One thing I will offer you again is I'm not going to tell you just to have a pen and paper. The reason for it is it's going to be worth something to you. And you'll go back through those notes. Believe me, I have binder upon binder upon binder. And I literally have to take some time every couple months just to kind of fumble through stuff and go, oh, my gosh, I totally forgot all about this piece. You know what? Dang it. I got to start applying this again. And I've got probably well over 100,000 pieces of paper and information.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. You're probably, why don't you go digital? I don't know. I guess I haven't broke that
You're
habit
old
yet. I do
school?
have a lot.
You're old school?
I'm old school and halfway new school. I do have Word documents now in my OneDrive. I guess I'm afraid that somebody's going to get into the OneDrive every now and again, or they can't really crash OneDrive. But, guys, it's so important to you. And, hey, I'll give you a gold nugget, because there's always gold nuggets. When you're talking to your newbie, if I'm talking to John or I'm talking to Chris, I'm going to say, you got a pen and paper handy there? If I'm talking to Darlene, I'm going to say, do you have pen and paper there? And if they don't, I'm probably not going to do the call with them, because I've just wasted my time and theirs, haven't I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's so important, guys. So it's for you. It's all about you. It's what's in it for you. And those notes, no matter whether I can read them, as long as you can read them, maybe you even know how to do some art and graph and all that, and how to, diagram stuff. Hi, little squirrel, don't you dare come up here, man. We'll have a war. Okay, buddy? You're very cute. He's a young squirrel, too. So, guys, it's a blessing to be able to take notes. I was not, I should say, a studious person. I was not, and am not, still a great note taker.
Me neither.
But I found out, me neither, but you know what I found out? I'm good at taking notes, and what I mean by that, I'm disciplined to take them. And because of that, it has paid. There's a cause and effect to everything. You get on calls, you're not there, you're not really there, but you're there, you're not recording it. There's a cause and effect from that. And so don't let the cause and effect take you down the wrong bunny trail. And you hear us talk about it every day, don't you know? Pen and paper, the reason why I want you to have a pen and paper, there's a reason, okay?
You're going to have to repeat yourself.
Well, we still repeat ourselves, because that's a good thing. Repetition is the mother of all skill. But let's go around the room. Who do we have on the call today? Announce who you are and where you're from, please.
Candy from New York.
Hey, Candy.
Chris
from Ohio.
Whoops.
Oh, Chris in Alabama.
Hi. Who else?
Greg in Ohio.
Okay, who else? Wayne from Missouri. All right. Who else?
Teresa, South Carolina.
All right, Teresa, you sound better today. You feeling better today?
Yeah, somewhat, thank you.
All right, I am glad to hear that. Hopefully those prayers are working. Keep her in prayer, guys, like we keep each of us in prayer, but a little extra prayer for Teresa, okay? It's working.
You.
All right. Anyone else that is not on mute, if you could just announce who you are and where you're from, we'd appreciate it. I do not have the screen up, so. Okay, so we're going to start this beginning segment off. If there's somebody you'd like to hold up, they're going to hear it on YouTube now. It's really easy to go to YouTube. Just go to youtube.com, and there's a little hourglass circle, and you just click it, and you put Jackie Anding's name in, and you will see training. It'll say training newbies. Training newbies. Could say team call. Those are going to be all your trainings. No, they're not listed, guys, but every single training will have some important value to them, I promise. So I'd like to find out who would like to lift someone up today. I'm going to start. I'd like to lift up Christopher Thompson. Christopher Thompson has been through the trials and tribulations, ups and downs in business and in personal life. I know this. And he is a warrior. He is somebody who takes that walk in the woodshed very well. He is somebody who I would have to ask his wife this, but I'd also say he's a stubborn guy too in his ways. But I got to tell you, he's overcoming all of these things. He's listening, he's applying little by little, and he's growing. And as he said in his own words yesterday, the numbers don't lie. It's all about numbers. Now, it's not all about numbers. It's about adding value to people first. Then it's about the numbers if you're trying to set yourself up into this place of security, freedom, and flexibility. It's all about sacrifice and being able to do the things you want to do when you want to do. And I'm very proud of him. I've watched him. I've called him out on a few things, and he listens. He doesn't just say, yeah, yeah, yeah. He says, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he'll come back and say, yeah, I didn't do that, or yeah, you're right, or yeah, I forgot. And he's growing. And we've taken him into this leadership role, which is leadership to him is no stranger. But he stepped forward and he's led this call and many other calls and has done a spectacular job. On top of that, he's duplicating miniature Christophers. I'll call them miniature Christophers. So, Chris, great job this month. You are really stepping up. And, Chris, the saying is true again. Greg Plank knows this for a fact. The last 24 to 36 hours of our business, 72 hours of our business, we can double our points, can't we, Chris?
Oh, yeah, easily.
Literally, guys, in less than 12 hours, he has doubled his points. And, guys, so I love it. I love that he's witnessing this. He probably thought maybe Greg and I were nuts or something. I thought people were nuts when they told me that, Chris. Really? These people what they're talking about? Or are they just trying to push us into something? I mean, come on, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, Chris,
Jackie, what was it that Joe Ursel said that the last 3 days of the month is when the bulk of the points go on anyway?
it is, and it always has been.
Been that way for years. I mean, it's that fear of loss, and to double those numbers, it's about what you did before. It's about, it's about knowing, all the different people you contact and recontacting and reconnecting with people that allows you to put those numbers on the board.
Exactly.
But
it's what you did last month. It's what you did last month, Greg.
Huh? I'm sorry?
It's what you did last month or the month before.
Yeah,
and again, not necessarily, because, every month I have new people come in and new people produce packs, but it's usually a week ago or 2 weeks ago that produce the harvest, right? So I don't want to get away from Chris here, but Chris, you've got this team growing. You've got people out there, and I'd love for you to mention their names so we can make sure they get this recording, because we're proud of Chris Thompson's team, Ian and Braden. See, I got it in my head. We're so pleased at your progress, and we want to welcome Braden to the team. But Chris, any thoughts just came into your head as I'm lifting you up today, because you deserve it, bro. You're really making things happen, and I know it hasn't been easy, but you've made that disciplined action list. I get one from you every week. Pay attention in your notes on that, guys. Every week I get something from Chris. If he forgets to send it to me, he usually catches it now on his own. Oops, I'm sorry, and it might be a day. It might be in the evening that I get it on Mondays. But Chris, anything that came into your heart as I was talking about you today?
Well, I really appreciate the shout out, guys, and it's not about me. And it took me a while to actually realize that, because instead of being of service to others, I was pretty much in a mindset of self-service for a long time, and and it took me joining this team to realize that I can actually help more people if I go about using my talents the right way. Okay. So that being said, it's I appreciate all the accolades, Jackie, that you mentioned, but I didn't do this, guys. Wayne did this, Candy, Greg, yourself, Jackie, Bill, Teresa, Ian, Braden, Eric, and a lot more other you guys that I'm not mentioning right now. I didn't do this because when by me helping you guys or being of service to you guys, I'm actually helping myself. So I'm just a mirror reflection of what you guys, either ask questions of me or if I'm able to contribute to you any kind of way, I'm just a reflection of my actions. So, but I do appreciate that, Jackie. You got me on the spot today. But
All right.
that lets you guys know that you know what I'm going through is real. And if I can get to this point, you can too, because I'm not doing anything special. Trust me. Thank you, Jackie.
You're welcome.
Oh,
You are a
one more
product
thing.
of your actions.
Yeah,
Oops.
and I do want to lift up. I'm sorry, Jack, my bad. But I do want to lift up quite a few people today. There's three in particular. Um, and like I said, I didn't do this. So first and foremost, I want to, lift up Braden Waller. He's our new distributor that my business partner Ann Michaels signed up. He was a placement distributor. So he ended up signing up that way through a placement. So he started up with a 4-pack, way to go, Braden. And also his senior partner, Ann Michaels. Ann started his business. I worked with him for, a couple months behind the scenes. You guys didn't really hear of him much, but he reached back out to me. He said, Chris, I'm tired of what I have going on right now. It's not working for me. I'm ready to get out of that hamster wheel. I said, if you're really ready, I can help you get out of that hamster wheel so you can have some change going on. So he said, whatever you got, Chris, I'm ready to follow. So I gave him some guidance. This guy, he stepped out of this comfort zone within, I would say like 72 hours, Jackie. I think I mentioned to you, he moved three units in 72 hours after receiving his pack. And from there, he had some failures, of course, but we fell forward, right? And he had a placement with Braden, and Braden ended up coming on board with the 4-pack as well. So he's not too far away from achieving his silver status. I've reached back out to him. It's not too late to close out the month, and we came up with a plan. But and also lastly, I don't want to take up too much time. I want to lift up Eric Light. He's not on the call today. He may be at that just over broke that we working towards getting out of very soon. But he went ahead, instead of going half-ass, guy, he wanted to go all in. He said, Chris, I'm all in. He said, I trust you. I feel the spirit in you. And, you're a man with a vision. And I want to follow you. So I do appreciate Eric. He's starting out with a helping hand scanner and the practitioner pack. So we was also fortunate enough for him to get an additional free fresh air unit with the Essentials for Life. But I wanted to lift up Braden Waller, Ann Michaels, and also Eric Light. Thank you, guys.
Give it up for him, guys.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
Woo!
yeah, yeah. Me and
These
Chris
are
talked a
leaders
little.
of example, and we have to remember, guys, that in leadership, one of the things my mentor has taught me, and I appreciate that, Chris, is that not everybody deserves to be recognized. And when I heard that from Maxwell, I thought, what? That's kind of creepy. That's not very good. But then he gave me the analogy, and the analogy I've used here from my personal reference of my neighbor, Chris Street, who is a softball coach of girls. And he was very sick and tired, and it just sealed the deal. I mean, Maxwell should seal the deal, right? Everybody knows who John C. Maxwell is, right?
Yes.
He's very credited, right?
Yes.
Very great
I
guy.
like him. Love him.
And he said that, thank you, Candy. And he said that, he's just sick and tired of giving these trophies out and everybody getting recognized the same. Because then what happens is the kids don't want to do anything. And it happened in his son's league. Everybody's getting trophies. He says, this isn't right. This isn't right. You're not lifting up the people who are busting their butt, going through the trials and tribulations, And you do, and you'll hear, and you've seen those that have, won trophies and things of that. They'll say, it's not me, it's God, right? You'll hear that. They'll say, I have this workout ethic, which is kind of troubling because, I have to do a lot of it. I have to do a lot more, like Michael Jordan, I have to do a lot more practice than most people, but I was in the gym every day, for 8 hours practicing. No, Gracie, stay up there. And so they do deserve it. They are different. The reason they're different is just because of what Chris said. The actions will determine the results. And the actions can only come from you and me. We can get the word and the inspiration from our team, which we all definitely need. But then we have to do something with it, don't we, team?
Oh, yeah.
We have to do something. It takes courage. Doesn't it, Wayne?
Yes.
Yeah, doesn't it, Greg? Doesn't it, Candy? And that's the difference maker. But here we find every little thing we can to find the right thing that people are doing. They picked up the phone and they did one IDA. We're going to praise you for it. We're gonna shout from Michigan all the way to New York to Alabama to Missouri to North Carolina, South Carolina to Ohio. We're all over the place, so I'm gonna start missing people. We're gonna do that. Florida. We're all over the place. Washington. But we have to keep in mind that we have to have the right mindset too. That if somebody is doing something and getting the results, we want to hear from that person. Yeah, well, I screwed up. Yeah, well, I needed the encouragement from my whole team here, like Chris said. But it still takes us to listen, to have the courage to step forward. And everybody has it. Every single person here, and even people we haven't met yet. They may not know that they have what it takes, but we're going to show them, aren't we? We're going to show them by example. We're going to show them by Chris's example. We're going to show them by Ian's example. We're going to show them by Wayne's example, aren't we? We're going to show them by Teresa's example, those stories, and how they're growing little by little by little by little. And say, yeah, you can do it, bro. Man, I messed up too. Hey, sis, when I came in the business, you would have thought that, there was a hurricane that happened. I was just, Jackie's story. She did pretty good the first year, but boy, her second and third year, she just, she bombed, What I'm trying to say, though, is not everybody gets a trophy in the business. Not everybody gets the plaque to hang on the wall unless they take what they've learned and have courage, as the Cowardly Lion would say, courage, right? And get out there and place your heart in other people's hands. You know what I mean by that? That the courage is, it isn't about me, Chris said. And Chris is absolutely right on. And he said that wasn't what his first thought was when he came here. It was, okay, crap. This isn't about me. I got to get up there and help people first. I got to splash all over people. I got to work with the people that also want to work and take some action too. I can try, and I will inspire, and I will make sure that they have lists of calls and group calls, and I will help people. And that's what Chris has done. And Chris will continue to do, just like the rest of you. But it does, there's a saying, Greg, you know this, success leaves clues. And remember, success isn't an amount of money. Success is adding value to others, really, in my eyes, if you're going to ask me. It's who have I added value to today? Who did I get off the chair, which I don't sit, I have a standing office, standing on my porch. I have a nice little oak piece of wood that I put up. And who can I help today? Did a couple Zyto scans this morning, Chris, and I hadn't done scans probably, I would say, in 6 weeks or so, and found out some things that needed to be adjusted with it. But who can you just get up and place a product with today? Who can you just offer a product with today? Who can you share? I mean, let's look at Ian. Man, Chris, you got to be just so pumped. Guy's placing technology. He finds a young man, Braden. Braden sees the value in it. But suppose Ian didn't do that, Chris? Suppose he didn't have the courage to do it. You probably have to put him on the bench for a little bit, right? And go find somebody that did, but keep encouraging, keep sending emails, keep the communication open. But he did it. And he gets this great guy on your team. How does that make you feel, Chris?
I mean, I'm at a loss for words, really.
Yeah, and it's an awesome feeling. And Chris had to put some love into this, some time into this, right? You know, to sprout the seed. And again, I don't know Ian and Braden very well, but like I said, there are people out there that are waiting for you. They're on their knees praying. If you believe in prayer, they're reaching out, saying, "Fill me up, universe. I need some change here. I need some help." They're just waiting. And so, guys, we want to bring those stories here and those success stories here. We want to be encouraged. Please don't say, "Oh, Chris, Chris is, oh, wow, he's just the greatest guy." He has done his own discipline and his own discernment by taking all of the stories from all of us, filling himself up, and I'm sure his wife, and I'm sure his goals through his kids and looking at those kids' eyes. And you don't have grandkids. Yes, you do. No, I don't want to put that. You have grandkids yet, Chris?
Yes, I do.
Good. Okay, I knew that's why I said that. I wanted to make sure I didn't get you mixed up. It's all about that, guys. It's all about that. So Chris couldn't get there by himself, but he deserves to be uplifted because of the time and the energy, and he's made a lot of mistakes. He's told you that. A lot of mistakes. But because he doubled his mistake rate, his failure rate, he's starting to see some things that he hasn't seen before. And every level you go, every step you go up Mount Everest, it gets more difficult, doesn't it? If you ever know about Mount Everest, a lot of people don't make it, they die because of the lack of oxygen, and it's not easy, and there's a lot of conditioning. It's the same thing here. They have to take a break. They have to condition their bodies so they can learn to use less oxygen and things of that nature to get to the very top. It's the same thing here. So I just really wanted to hone in on that because, again, we've been unpacking this week after week, month after month. It's not about us, but you deserve the praise. You deserve to be uplifted, folks, for the courage and the energy and the effort and to figure out how to do it, to figure out how to get around that obstacle in your life, whatever that obstacle could be. You're not using it as a crutch. You're figuring out what you need, right? And there's a lot of funny stories that people will share with us over the next several years that I've heard over years of certain people and how they got disciplined or how they got held accountable or made sure they were scheduled. It's kind of funny how you hear all these different stories, but they help you and I, don't they? That's why stories, I will say it again, did you create a story yesterday? Who did you get out and help yesterday? Who did you offer a product with by listening and seeing if, gosh, I don't know, but it sounds like you'd be a good candidate. Let's see if this will work for you. I don't know if this opportunity is right for you or not, but boy, you got some big goals. Is that where our focus is? It's not hard. Matter of fact, I came up with a new numbers for you guys today. If you did 10 leads a week, John's 10 Christian leads a week, over the next 6 months, every week you did 10 leads, I guarantee you, I can't guarantee your success, okay? But if you did, you're going to see a difference in yourself and how your organization will start to grow inch by inch by inch. Chris, you get 10 leads a week.
Yeah, I'm living proof. I was just going to chime in on you, Jackie.
I'm paying attention, Chris. Go ahead.
But, I'm living proof, guys. I mean, I was skeptical because I started off doing those little cheapo ads, and I was fishing in the wrong hole, as Greg would, you normally would say. And then, I was like, okay, Jackie keeps, telling me, and that's how the universe works and how God operates. He speaks through other people so you can get a message, but you got to be open to receive said message. So that being said, I started doing, 10 leads every week consistently. And when I really hit it, I was calling them not on schedule, and Jackie, she could read my mind. She'll send me a text like, Chris, are you reaching back out to these people? And then I had to really get intentional with calling them, at least every other day. And for me, I noticed change in my whole demeanor and the way I come to these calls. And you guys noticed that too. After about 90 days, of calling 10 leads a week, that's when I really start seeing a difference in people being more receptive to what I had to offer during the call. And I was able to start honing in on really building a connection. You'll hear me say that over and over again. If you can understand the importance of building a connection, nobody will turn you down, and I'm starting to see that, but thank you, Jack. I just wanted to share that.
You know what, Chris? I am glad that you said that, because if you make that connection with people, there's a huge difference that happens. And it's just having that healthy conversation with people. And no matter how your day is going, you're doing it anyhow. How many of you have done things when you didn't want to do them? Say aye.
Aye.
Yeah, and did you ever notice when you did do them, did you ever give yourself some credit and say, oh, it wasn't so bad, I don't still feel very good, or I still have that issue happening, but my mind was taken off of it, or I made somebody else's day today. It seems it isn't you. For me, it's always God working through me. So God made somebody else's day using me. But I mean, that's what it's about, Chris. And so when I say 10 leads, please, I want to let everybody else know this. Don't look at Chris or look at me or look at anybody else on the team and go, man, I'm not like them, or I don't know what's wrong with me. I haven't gotten there yet. Listen, it's okay. It's okay. You're being made into something great. That's why the caterpillar did not stay a caterpillar. He turned into a beautiful butterfly, and we all have that ability. Matter of fact, if I could show you on my, do you guys see my butterflies over there that I'm looking at out of my office there? Do you guys see them?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I see.
Yeah. The butterfly there? That's my butterflies. And I just bought those this year because it made me think that as I look at these beautiful butterflies, they were this, I liked caterpillars. Okay, maybe you guys didn't, but they're not they're kind of creepy to some people. They look like worms to others. They're not the most attractive, right? But I keep looking at what everybody and the team and everybody through God using me, God using you if you believe that, the universe using you. I mean, again, I'm not going to get preachy here, but I look at all those butterflies and I think of you guys. I see Candy there on the wall, and I see Wayne there on the wall, and I see Cindy there on the wall, and I see Chris there on the wall, and I see Josephine on the wall, and I see Teresa on the wall, and Bill on the wall, and Chris on the wall, and Ian on the wall. I see them all. Ian. I'm going to miss your name, okay, and I don't want to do that. Greg on the wall. But that's the potential. So look at Chris and go, man, I'm working towards what Chris is doing. I'm working towards all the stories that Jackie has said. I'm working towards being a Bender, or J.K. Baker, or Wayne. I'm on my way. Chris didn't get there all of a sudden. Jackie didn't get there just like that. But boy, look what I get to look forward to, man. Look at all the minutia Chris went through, man. Look at all the minutia Wayne went through, man. Look at all the minutia Teresa went through, man. I got hope here. That's how I want you to look at this. Again, guys, we have a simple indirect approach for both opportunity and retail. We do. There's a little bit of details you got to learn. Anybody can do it with legs, not legs, no arms, no sight. We know all that, right? Fourth grade education, that's all I can be truthful. Fourth grade education, that's it that Mike Jackson had. You can do it too, right? You can do it too. So please know, don't compare yourself to anyone. You are your own special creation, and you will. I promise, if you have the courage and the faith to step forward, take some notes, take the action on a consistent basis, you'll have the success that you deserve. It will happen. And what you, as Eric said yesterday, and I want to lift up Eric too, what you focus on is what you attract. What you put out, you get in return. So if you're not putting any seeds out, any practice with IDA and direct approach or opportunity, calling leads on a consistent basis. I got to put consistent in there, guys. And I didn't say a lot of leads, 10 leads a week. Now, if you're like, well, I can't do that yet, well, figure out how you can and work with what you have. I have a Zyto. I can do that for now. Great. I have 5 leads coming in a week. Great. I have 5 leads coming in every other week. Great. Just know it'll take a little slow go, but look forward to getting more. Look forward to getting more product, right? Be excited about what you get to look forward to, right? Oh, I can't get them, Jackie. No. How many you got? I got 3 coming a week. Great. What's the end goal? Well, really, I'd like to have 20 coming in a week. I want to double those numbers, baby. Okay. But what's the goal? 10. Okay. And if we move X amount of product per month, we'll be able to cover that nut, right? So you probably have to have at least, probably if you're new, maybe 6 placements a month to get good, to move 1 or 2 units, and then pretty soon out of the 6 you'll move 50%, 3 units, right? But now Chris is going to tell people to focus on what? Get 6 placements a month, figure on 1 ownership, maybe 2, okay? But the good news is, Charlie, you're going to turn in that butterfly because pretty soon you'll place 6 and you'll move 3. Really, Chris? Yes, my friend. But here's the secret. What's the secret, Chris? You got to be consistent with the action. And I want you to be consistent for the next 6 months. Let's just do 6 months. Okay, let's do 6 months is a good number for me because I've watched that. 90 days, people say, I say, I say 6 months. And then we'll up it to a year and then 24 months. Just give a small window. But you're all beautiful butterflies here. Maybe some of you are caterpillars on the ground right now. That's cool. That's cool, man. You're crawling in the right direction, aren't you? And you're going to spin your cocoon, which means you're going to spin getting units back. You're going to spin feeling uncomfortable with IDA. You're going to spin being in fear, lack of courage. That's spinning the web. Cocoon. That's people saying no and setbacks and nobody shows up to your meeting, right? People showing up at your meeting. People keeping the unit. You're spinning the web, spinning the web, spinning the web. Getting good at bringing testimonials here and sharing, spinning the web, right? It takes time. Has anybody ever watched on YouTube? You can see it. They speed it up. Did you ever watch how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly? Anybody? The metamorphosis that it goes through? Anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's you. That's you in life. I will just say that's you here in this business right now. And that's the beauty, okay? That's the beauty. So hold on to that. I already got you on my outside fence, all of you, and even the ones that aren't even here yet, okay? Now, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, what is it, 1, 2, 3? I have 7, but it's like 7,000 to me, okay? Or 7,100 to me, right? Because everybody is going to be a beautiful butterfly, right? Some of us are we're almost getting to, I personally think, Chris, and the rest of you, I'm still in the cocoon. I still got a lot of growing to do, kids. I got a lot of stuff that I'm doing to grow and to get out of. And, I think we're in that cocoon, at least my picture is until I reach heaven. But I'm looking forward to it. How about you guys? You looking forward to it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's move on today. Chris, Zyto, I don't know if you've checked your software lately. Have you noticed that it has got Living Water and Essentials for Life highlighted? Have you juiced it up lately and seen that?
Not lately. I was planning on doing some scans before the weekend is out.
Okay. You might want to check that out and make sure that you do not just keep the Living Water and the Essentials, that you add the VO supplements. Be warned, though, your scan's going to take 10 minutes right now. We're fixing it, okay? We're getting that fixed, but it takes double the time, okay?
Oh, you talking about when you loading up all the products?
Yeah, you'll see we have a waterfall is what it's called. The water comes up first, the essentials, and then you'll have to click to add like the Valara supplements. It'll take longer to scan right now. And we know it's not perfectly acceptable, but people are given, the reality they're given, they accept. I just wanted you to know, because you're like, what the heck? Why is the scan taking so long? Well, it's okay, but we're going to get that fixed, okay? That's one of the updates I wanted to give you. Okay, cool. Last but not least here today, guys, I want to ask you, how'd you do with your goals and dream exercise yesterday with those 3 questions? Anybody go out there and put their true or false next to those? And did you share them with 3 people to see if your true or false lined up with their thinking about you? Anybody? Nobody?
No, I didn't do it, Jackie.
Ruh-roh. Okay. So guys, here's the deal. We want you to succeed, and these exercises will help you succeed with putting those goals and dreams in place, okay? So it is very important. Remember, okay? Always remember there's 2 kinds of people in the world, the realistic and the dreamer. The realistic knows where they're going. The dreamer's already been there. But if we don't know where we're going, we don't have those goals and those dreams in place, we don't have a plan of attack, Bill, we're going to be wondering why we're still in the JOB. And this will help you with that. So did you do it, Wayne?
I had an answer to those questions already.
True or false? Did you answer true or false?
True to all of those questions.
Excellent. That's perfect. That's a good indicator. Now, what I would do for you, because he just told us something that we can hold him accountable. He says that he shares his dreams and goals publicly with those he loves. Now, maybe he doesn't love us. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Wayne. So that means he gets on these calls and he's going to share his goals and his dreams. He says true.
Go to the Skype, you'll see.
Oh, I haven't been on Skype yet, so we'll have to go to Skype. And so he's going to come here and share, and I would encourage him, if he's got some people in his sphere of influence, to share those with them and people that he can feel that he could ask, is this me? Am I a person who, in the world would most please if I accomplish my dream? And see if somebody would say no to you, Wayne. If they'd say, yep, that's you, Wayne. Yep, that's you, Wayne. Then he knows he's in good hands. And again, you got to remember this, and this is the reason. Remember this. If one person tells you you're a horse, they're crazy. If 3 people tell you you're a horse, there's a conspiracy afoot. If you have 10 people tell you you're a horse, it's time to buy a saddle. Meaning, if there's this many people saying the same thing about me, then I better do some changing real quickly here, right? So that would help you, okay? So it's important, guys. The exercises aren't for just me, they're for you too, okay? But I always say, we're in this together. You guys ready for question number 2 for this week?
Yeah.
Anybody else ready? Yes. Anybody else have dreams and goals on this call? Let me ask you that.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody have dreams and goals they want to accomplish?
Yes.
Anybody have dreams and goals they'd like to use this Volara business for their vehicle to make it happen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we got yes. Okay. The second one is the clarity question. And the clarity question, do I clearly see my dream? Do I clearly see my goal? Do I see it? Do you see your goal right now? Yes or no? Just going to ask people, yes or no? Be honest.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes I don't always see my goal very clear, guys. And so I have to really kind of massage it and figure it out and not lose sight of it. But how many of us have lost the vision of our goal when we're working towards it because of life and minutia?
Oh, yeah. Been
That's
distracted
a
many
good
times.
way to look at that, Jackie. Because there's another question we have to ask ourselves, but I'll get into that on Friday.
Okay, I appreciate that, Wayne. Let me have you write this down, the clarity question, do I clearly see my dream? That's number 2 for this week. On the recording here, you can grab it. Can I explain the gist of my dream? Could you right now explain the gist of your dream to us? True or false? True or false? Can I explain the gist of my dream in a single sentence? Mine is family and never, ever to be under the thumb of somebody else telling me what to do in a job. I have clearly stated it is a big compeller for me. It is one of the biggest compellers. Freedom, flexibility, family. Never working for anybody again. That is my goal. It's an ongoing goal, isn't it, guys? Has to be, right? I have to keep investing and adding value and helping people and help others do the same thing. Okay? B is this, guys. I could answer nearly any question about what, if not how, of my dream. So you already know. Bill, you already know your goal. Your goal of when you're going to be out of your JOB, the action that you're going to take weekly to make it happen. These are the things that we have to know. This isn't optional. This isn't daydreaming. This is something where we actually know the gist of our dream. We can say it in a single sentence, A. B, you could answer nearly any question about what and if and how of your dream. You want to put true or false next to that one. Anybody need me to repeat that one again?
Let me ask you this. I could answer nearly any question regarding the what, if, and how.
Yep. Any question about the what, if not the how, of your dream. You can answer nearly any question about the what, if not the how, of your dream. That's B. And then you put true or false. And then C is I have a written, clear description of my dream. That includes its main features and objectives.
Yes.
Thank you. I have a written, clear description of my dream. It includes the main features, and a lot of that is I see myself continuing, or I see myself job-free. I see myself giving of my time for my church. I see myself going, I'm talking about me, but I see myself going to church every Friday and Sunday, every Tuesday, go there and pray the rosary. I'm sitting in the pew. This is what I had to do before. I see myself there. There's no time. I don't have a schedule for JOB. I go in. I help Judy with stuffing envelopes. I help Judy with counting. All this. I could see it. I could see it down to what I was doing. I could see the laughter in the room. I mean, that's how detailed. And the more details you have to your dreams and goals, don't just take my word on it, just ask successful people. They already knew it and saw it, and they went for it. And they were going to make it, just like Thomas Edison with the light bulb. Okay? Graham with the telephone, if you watch those stories. Abraham Lincoln, about the slavery being free. I mean, he knew it. He wanted it. He could see it. He worked towards it. Had a lot of opposition. There's all kinds of stories. But they see it. And so every morning when I get up, it's right here in my belly. It's like I only have today. Today's the last day, dear Lord, of this day I'll ever get. I got to go out there, man. I got to make things happen. I got to prepare this literature for this call. I got to add value. I got to offer an opportunity to people. I got to offer product to people. I got to visit with my dad. I've got things that I've got to get done that I could put off for a week, put off for a year if I wanted to. I did that for 30 years of my life. I can't do that anymore. Okay? So, number one. What was number one? What was A? I can explain the main gist of my goal, dream, in a single sentence. right? Everybody got that one?
Yeah.
And if I could answer nearly any question about, answer nearly any question about the what and the ifs of my goal and my dream, and I have written a clear description of my dream. That is so important.
Not the how.
Picture boards are good. Picture boards are great, actually. And so when you're sitting down at night, you're sitting on your porch in the morning, you envision traveling the world, as I do. You see it. You smile about it. I mean, you got all this other minutia happening in my life I do right now, but I still have my goals, still have my dreams, and they're there, and it will happen. And I see it. So then I say, oh, man, I got to get busy, right? So, Bill, what is your dream and your goal? And you'll have those major dreams and goals, and then you're like, okay, well, I got to get busy talking to people then. Whether it's product or opportunity, that's the only two things we do here, isn't it? Share the product, share the opportunity, right? That's all we do, right? Isn't that all we do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's all we do. Then we do personal growth. So me and Jackie, I got to read books. I got to listen to stuff. Oh. I got to take notes on these calls. Oh. I got to go out there and talk to people. Oh. Hopefully you don't have that and you've interviewed somebody that, you've given proper expectation that they're going to get yeses, nos, and all that. I mean, I do. John and I always give proper expectation to people. It's so important. But that's okay, because that's just like the caterpillar spinning the cocoon, spinning it and spinning it and spinning it and spinning it. It takes X amount of time in that cocoon for it to bust out and be a beautiful butterfly. Candy. We can all do that. We can all make that happen for us. So I leave you with the first question yesterday: is my dream really my dream? If I were to be the person in the world most pleased if I accomplish it, yet, true or false. I have publicly shared my dream with others, true or false. My dream has been challenged by others, and I still embrace it, true or false. That was yesterday's. Today is number 2, the clarity question: do I clearly see my dream? I have the main gist of my dream. I can answer nearly any question about the what and the if and the how of my dream. I have written a clear description of my dream. Write those things down. I hope they'll add some value to you. And if you don't, I'm sorry. I wish you would. I hope you will. I hope that will help you so you can get out there and make it happen. And remember this, guys. When you ask those 3 people after you put true or false to evaluate those questions, did their answer match yours? And if not, ask their observation. Also, take a look at their overall score for you. If I gave you less than 10, ask, well, what would it take for me to get to a 10? We ask that question here. What would it take you to get to a 10 if they're, looking at stuff? Well, it's a 7. Well, what would it take to get you to a 10? Ask them, what would it take for me, Chris? Chris says, what would it take for me, Jackie, to get to a 10? Listen, take notes. Ask questions. Get clarifying questions for yourself. Okay? Remember again, if a person tells you you're a horse, you're crazy. If 3 people tell you you're a horse, there's a conspiracy afoot. But if 10 people tell you, you better go buy the saddle. And I know it's like, wow. And I know it's like, I'm so comfortable in my life. I'm just comfortable. But are you really comfortable being comfortable? Well, no, I'm really miserable, but so much easier just to kind of just stay here and just get by, not add value, not use my God-given potential. I know I've been there. Trust me, guys. But it's not very rewarding either, is it? So think about those 2 first things to kind of noodle on, putting goals out on your piece of paper, putting those goals down and dreams, and get a picture board for it. So I'm going to leave you with 2 things. What's the challenge for this? What are you doing for this week? What action in your business are you taking? And I encourage you to please come tomorrow and share it. Share the goal. Share the dream. And be prepared that if someone, you say, well, I want to make $5,000 a month, be prepared for somebody on the team to go, well, when? What's the date? And if they say, well, sometime in 2020, be prepared for somebody to say, okay, well, what's the month and the date? You got 2020, that's awesome, that's great, but what's the month and what's the date? And now you're being challenged. You're being held accountable, aren't you? Don't we all really love that? Don't we all want to hit our mark? Don't we? I think we all do.
Oh, yeah.
Even for some of us, it's deep down, but we're like, yeah, it's just hard, Jackie. It's just hard. I know it's hard. But it's not focus on the hard, or focus on the hard for a minute. And say, is it hard to be $40,000 in credit card debt? How does that make you feel? I don't feel so good about it. Is it hard living paycheck to paycheck? Well, yeah, that's hard. So what's harder? Making the money you want? Getting out of where you're at? Getting the shackles off? Or just living with the debt? Just living with not being able to do the things that you want to do? Not being able to tie to your church. You can always put it in perspective. You can catch people when they say, well, it's so hard, Jackie. See, I know. But let's do apples to apples. Let's get a list together. Tell me all the things that in your life right now you don't like. I list them all. Okay. Tell me all the things in your life that would just be easier to do. Well, it's just, talking to people. I don't know if I can do that. And, getting on the calls is hard. And, coming up with the money is hard. And they come to go with all these things. And I say, okay, let's look at this. So if you come up with the money, you can start to get down this over here. What's this? Debt. If you start to come up with the money, you can get rid of this, the job. If you come up with, you haven't spent enough time with your family, you said you want more quality time with family, you'd be able to, see, then they start to go, oh, you're right. See, anything that is hard to do is usually worthwhile. So if you're not doing the hard things, the discipline things, or working on discipline, I should say, then you'll probably end up staying right exactly where you're at. And if you're really good with that, which I don't believe anybody's really good with it, I just think people choose, I'll say me, the easy way out. It's just easier, just whatever. It'll get paid off when it gets paid off. My husband will come home when he does, and we'll try to get that 1 year vacation in. Whatever, it's just easier. And you're saying it, and the people who say it usually say it like that, and I'll go, look how you just said it. That really makes you happy? Well, no. Then let's do something about it. We have everything in place. Matter of fact, we have more with the Zyto now, another added tool. You don't have to all use Zyto, okay? We know we can build a successful business without it. It's just another conversational tool that people will come in, and we can really scan more people for a better overall biohealth markers. Do something about it, guys. Come here. Ask those questions. If you don't, then you can probably sit back and go, I didn't even do the questions. That probably tells me I'm probably not getting very far yet. Not very happy with myself. I should have done it. It's okay. Today's a new day. We don't give up on anybody. We don't give up on anybody. Answer the questions, true or false. Yes, Wayne.
The other day, when I went to that transit meeting, I got out of there. There was another young lady there. She has a disability. She uses a wheelchair. And she had a problem. And with that problem, I went ahead, offered her some assistance, and even planned to go ahead and do a little advocacy for her. It was exciting for me. And it brought me back to thinking about my ultimate goal. And I began realizing, I really like the idea. I need to be helping people, thinking about that. But that doesn't mean I'm going to take away, stop doing what I am doing right now, going ahead and working on getting leads, contacting them, doing that, and also working with Chris when he has the time to go ahead and practice on the scripts, getting those down well. But focusing my attention on helping, that is one of the main things about this business that really excited me.
Yep. And Wayne, I want you to get on Wednesday's calls
Yeah,
so we can do role playing with the scripts. Okay, that's what I want you to do.
I'll do that. I'll be doing that.
And do what I did. And I didn't have role playing, didn't have hot seats, captain chairs, whatever they call them.
Right.
I just grabbed the script, and all I did was pick up the phone and call. I was not good, but I just did it, and then I kept doing it. And then we did have role playing. We had people that would do live leads. We found that was better when a person could hear someone do it live. And we can do that. And they would hear them do it live, and they would be listening and practicing their scripts. Now, Wayne, I'm going to give you a little secret. If you go in your training tab, young man, in Switch to Freedom, by the way, if you go there in your Switch to Freedom training tab, if you hover over the training tab and you go down, there's 3 areas. There's an archive section. It's called the archived section. If you go in there and you click on how to bring a new person in, there's an actual role play. I don't know if it's me or John. Nothing's changed, by the way. It breaks down. I'm pretty sure it's John, actually. But he goes through, you don't have to use everything, Wayne, but we know it works. We know that John brings in people, I bring in people, Chris brings in people. You can use that as a reference point, because this way you're in control of listening to that recording if you wanted to 10 times a day. And I always ask the question, if you listen to somebody do it over and over and over again, do you think that you could become them, similar to them? Yes or no, everybody?
I think you can become similar to them. You don't want to become them. Try to become them. That's a good idea.
No, but I did. I tried to become John, and I would duplicate what John would say, or Fred Robertson, or Tom Lozano. I did. The way they would pause. Why? Why would I do that, Wayne? And trust me, I have my own personality too. But why did I do it? Because I said to self, if I can listen to them, and then, I marked up my scripts, by the way. Back then I had all kinds of, like Tom would add something that wasn't in the script, or I would remove a little something from the script. Not a lot, because I knew that was danger. But I would add something that was outside the script. And then I started adding stuff like John or Fred, would use, or even Brian Ellsworth. I would start adding these things in here. Or it could be Kelly Alterton. There's so many of them. Tammy Northcutt, Debbie Ratliff. Matter of fact, I still have all those notes. Why did the live role play help? It wasn't live role play, excuse me, live lead help. Why because we didn't have recordings till later on, but I still needed help. So I still have been a student to this day. That I would take it in over and over and over again, but I would listen to it, then I'd get on the phone and I'd dial. For me, I would read the IDA and the psychology behind it from my notes, then I would pick up the phone and I would call. Or I'd go out into the field and do it right after. For me, I needed to do that. So after the recording, that's when I call my leads. Or after listening to live leads, I would schedule so it wouldn't get too far, so I could practice it. They say practice it within 72 hours is your best rule of thumb. When you learn something, go share it. When you've learned something, go do it. Go do it. And got to do it consistently, Wayne. See, this is where I believe, for me, this is where the fluctuation of this, you guys know what one of these are, right? It's not a roller coaster ride. I hope I'm not making anybody sick, right? You see this? You're going up and down, up and down. If you just, I don't care if it's 3 leads, I don't care if it's 5 leads, but if you're doing them every week over the next 6 months, and you're listening to the recordings, or you're doing your scripts, and you're finding that, hey, I'm got people that are cha-chinging, and they're coming in. Because remember, Chris and I do not bring every person who cha-chings in. You guys have that written in your notes?
Yeah.
Well, I don't understand. I had 2 cha-chings and nobody came in. Okay, how many leads, though? Jackie says 10 leads, 15 leads a week. So if you're doing 3, you've got to do 3 times 5 to come up with that number, right? To be safe. 3 times 5. So that's pretty much the whole month. You should be bringing in 1 person, Wayne, out of 15 leads. Oh, really? Yeah. And as you get better, you can get 2 out of 10, like me. I bring 2 out of 10, sometimes 3 out of 10. And again, I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you that it's just consistency. You guys all know my story, 2013. What did Jackie do? She got those cheapo leads, called 100 leads a week on average. Sometimes it was 150 on average for 2 years. Every week, Chris. I was talking to hang-ups and, I got the whole thing, the profanities and the looky-loos and the tire cookers. It really built me up. And I got good. And I think it's a common theme that you will continue to hear from Chris, myself, John, Greg. It's just consistency. And if you compare yourself to someone who's calling 15 leads a week to you have to get the whole picture before you poo-poo yourself out. If you, well, I don't understand. I started at the same time. It's like, well, did you ask questions of the new person? No. Well, let's ask. So, Chris, how many leads you do in a week? 15, 20. Oh, I'm only doing 3. No, you're not only doing 3. You're doing 3. So it's called consistency. Everybody say consistency.
Consistency.
Because it won't matter, as John and I will I'll tell you this. John and I will tell you this. We helped people role play. We helped dial leads for people. We did it for months. You know what happened, Chris? When we stopped? Nothing. So you invest all that time, and the person does not do their part. But if you're investing money and you have to do these leads yourself, what happens? You either waste the money or you go, crap, I just made an investment. I need to get doing, right? And sometimes it just takes a message like this, but it's a very powerful one. I used to help people all the time, and as soon as I withdraw, I was just babysitting. And John, I did not know this about John Bender until I brought it back up because I had stopped doing it. And I'm saying, well, do you think we should go back and do that again? He says, no, we're enabling people. And then he asked me a question, Jackie, when you started, did Debbie Ratliff call your leads? Now, don't get me wrong, guys. I will call your leads. I do that for a period of time, okay? And I've done it for everybody. I said, no, she didn't call my leads. Did she role play with you? No, she didn't role play with me. I was kind of a little irritated about that. I probably could have learned much quicker, but we didn't have that in the system. And then later on, you got put in the captain's chair. You did the interview with me or Debbie, and then we would critique you, right? And how you did. He said, but how did that really work? I said, well, it worked pretty well. It worked pretty well. And he said, well, I stopped doing it. And I said, okay, well, how's it working for you, John? He goes, well, more people are taking responsibility. And I said, oh, okay. See, John's my mentor, so I kind of listen to him. Not everything that flows from John Bender comes through me. There's a lot of outside sources that I learn from that are successful as well. But do you think I should listen to John if he's seeing that he has better success or not?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably.
Role-playing is necessary, and it's something that we should do. And it's something we do. We'll do a role-play. Matter of fact, if you're not on the role-play but you're on the call, do you think if you heard Wayne role-playing with Chris that you would learn something, even if you weren't the one in the captain's chair? Of course you would. Of course you would. But it really boils down to the word consistency and doing it. Somebody told me that confidence doesn't come just naturally. Confidence comes from you doing it. Anybody else ever hear that statement before? I don't know who.
No, I have.
Somewhere. Yeah, it's in the doing yourself that you get the confidence. If somebody does it all for me, I still have what? No confidence. Or less confidence. But when I do it myself, what happens?
When you do it yourself, you learn how to do it by going ahead and doing it yourself. Somebody
Right.
does it for you. You're not going to learn the steps and the process of it. My mentor in disability advocacy made that point to me over and over again many times, telling me,
it's true.
"You gotta get there and do it. I can't do it for you. I'm not going to do
That's
it."
right. That's right. But you can listen. We make sure we have scripts. We make sure we have recordings. We make sure we have live recording. We have the either the psychology of the breakdown of the lead, which again John doesn't do that the role playing individually anymore. But he does help bring people in after they cha-ching. He'll do a partnering call, and so I've done that too as well. The key thing is to make sure you're a new person, folks. You say, do you have all your scripts printed? Because I cannot help you unless you have them all in a binder. You have the right, Chris, to say that. You have the right. Because otherwise, your time is wasted. Because they're not properly paired. They got to do their part, and you got to do your part, right? Is that right? Does that make sense, Chris? So they got to have the scripts printed.
Right.
Have you studied the script? Yes. Okay. All right. Do you know the next step? So when we get a cha-ching, can you tell me what the next step is? And if they're brand new, I might say pull that the flow chart up real quickly. Oh, I didn't have it printed. Okay. Well, then we're going to reschedule. Because I am not doing them any favors. Right? The other question is, do you have at least $300 or $400 to put at risk for leads? I do, Jackie. Okay, and you're willing to do that then. You're willing to get leads over the next 90 days every week? Again, if I say you only have money for the next month, do you really think they're going to get the skill set down in a month, Chris? Let's be honest.
No.
No, but if we're thinking about ourselves, yeah, well, at least they get leads for a month, and that all rolls up to me, and who cares if they get it or not, right? So you can't think that way. Can't think that way. Okay? So they got to have enough for at least a couple months so they have enough to get some of the skill set going every week. So you might come up, Chris, with your own questions. Yeah, let's get those leads. But let me ask you a few questions here. I don't want you just getting leads to get leads because you do have product, and if you can fund your business from a zero, be in the black. If you move some of those units, we can just take the money and put it into your advertising. That makes sense, right? Oh, it makes sense. Okay. But do you have at least $200-300 for leads right now? I do. Okay. Are you willing to do leads over the next 90 days? I am. Okay. Then I will move forward with you. Now I need you before you order them. Well, actually, you can go ahead and order them. I'll SM and tell them where to go, and you're on the screen, or if you're showing your screen, you're on the screen. I'm on the screen, okay. And do you see it there? Okay. Go ahead and get those ordered. Now, do you have your scripts printed? No. Okay. Well, let's show you where those scripts are. Got a pen and paper handy there, Fred? Yep. So you show them. Here's the scripts. Okay. Now, let's print them off. Can you go get yourself a cheap dollar binder? I can. Okay. Put them in order. You see this? You see there where it says blah 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 blah. It shows you where the flow chart is. I do. Print that first. Make sure that's the front page, and then you'll see the leave a message scripts and the templates, and you'll have to copy and paste those and put them into your email. Do you know how to copy and paste? I'm not quite sure. Here, let me send you a document that says how to copy and paste. Plus, write that down. Okay, you'll send me a document how to copy and paste. Okay, Jackie. Or you can Google it. Oh, I love Google. I'll Google it. Are you sure? Yep. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you how to copy and paste, too. So I show them on my screen. Some of you are like, well, I don't have that capability. Free conferencing. Oh, no. My squirrel's going to get hit. Or he got hit. No way. Guys. Oh, he did not. He's playing. Whew. I thought he got hit. Hey, dude, get out of the street. let me get back to my train of thought here. So you help them with that, and now they have it. Now it's up to them. They got to get in there and start practicing, right? So then they get their leads, and you call their first set of leads with them, right? And they see how it goes. Or you can get them on your call, Chris, and they listen to you. So you tell them there's a process here, and I got to make sure you'll be willing to go through the process, Fred. And so you tell them all the process. You're going to listen to me call some of my leads with your scripts. Tomorrow I'm going to check and make sure you have them all printed. We're going to flip from page to page to page to make sure you do all that with them. Okay? Now sometimes, most people, guys, by the way, will be like, yeah, I have all my binder right here. I got a nice, pink binder, and I got the flow chart here, and they'll start telling you. So then you don't have to flip from page to page, right? But guys, this sets people up for success. Now they have it all. They've listened to you. You've called their first set of leads, right? Or their, first or second. You can do a couple. They need now to do it. Am I right or am I wrong? We're the training wheels. We've been the training wheels. Now they need to get out there and make it happen, right? But didn't I set him up for success, Fred? Did I set him up for success? Why and how did I set him up for success? What was the first thing, my line of questioning? What was my line of questioning? It was proper expectation questioning, wasn't it? Does that make sense, guys?
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you gotta get that commitment. Okay? And then people will, they'll cancel their leads, and you're like, well, you haven't done leads in, a month. So we got to get back in the game here, and we got to focus on the book, and we've got to focus on the process, and we got to make sure that you have enough for the next 90 days so you can start getting your feet, going. Otherwise, you stop and you start. Greg Montoya told me there's 3 things in our business that you will fail. He said, not being consistent, stop and start, stop and start, stop and start, not investing enough time into the business, he told me, meaning not giving it 24 months of consistent, because what did he say the first thing was? You got to be consistent, not no stopping and starting, he told me. The second thing he told me was you've got to be able to, what was the second thing I just said? My brain just went south. No stopping and starting. What was the second one? See, I wrote this down years ago, and I've said it to all of you. You guys don't know what the second one is? What's the second one?
Starting.
What is it?
Get in the game.
Yep, being in the game for 24 months.
Being in the game for 24 months. That was it. Being in the game for 24 months.
Yeah. And then the third one was take any of those 2 out of the recipe, and you'll fail. Now, my second and third year, was I consistent, guys? About a year and a half. Was I consistent? How'd my story go?
You told us no.
No. That's when I got the walk in the woodshed. And does that make sense to everybody here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Help your people understand that you can use that. I have it on a 3x5 card as one of my first 100 3x5 cards. I know it by heart, and I think he probably got that from Zig Ziglar or Maxwell, to tell you the truth. I ran across it just recently, about within the year. I don't know, maybe it was Bob Proctor. Might have been Bob Proctor. But it's true. And if we can give people proper expectations, Chris and Wayne and Candy, and tell them like it is, then you've done your part. The rest, their success is not on you. Their success is on them. It's never on any of us, because it takes us to take the message, the teaching, get to the meeting, get the product, get the sample, get the script, get the lesson, and then it's up to us to do something with it. So if we give proper expectation, we teach people about consistency, we teach about time put in the business, tell them to get a binder, make sure they know where their scripts are, make sure they know how to copy and paste the template out of there. Some people, like me, I didn't know how to copy and paste. I didn't ask how to copy and paste. You know what I did? What's the next best thing you would do? in an email if you didn't know how to copy and paste. I took the template, I printed it off. I took the template and I printed it off, and then I went to my email, and guess what I started doing?
Typing it.
That's right. I just typed it. Well, I didn't ask a lot of questions, Chris, when I started. I was a doer. I'm pretty proud of that. I was a doer. I would do things but I was stupid because I didn't ask questions, but at least I got it done. And I had it. I saved it. I made a template out of it. So probably to this day, Chris, I still haven't tried to figure out Google and add-ons and all that, and I still can't get, I've got saved drafts, but I still, at some point when we have time, figure out how to do the template thing there, because it would probably save me even more time. But I know how to copy and paste now, guys, and I have actually an email from 10 years ago. I wrote up an email. And matter of fact, the call list that you all get,
yeah,
I used to have instructions on copy and pasting in it. And then I thought, oh, this is just too much. It was too long. I used to put it right at the bottom. So if somebody called me, I remember Chris Allen specifically. She's like, I don't know how to copy and paste, Chris. And I'm like, Chris, you got the Monday through Wednesday call list? She said, yeah. I said, you got it in front of you? Can you get it? She's like, yeah. She's like, I got it. And I'm like, scroll to the bottom. The instructions are right there. And she's like, oh, my gosh, this is great. So I had it there, but people weren't really seeing it. But it was nice to have it, because if I'm driving and somebody needs how to copy and paste, I can say, hey, you got that email? Yeah. Scroll to the bottom of it. Oh, yeah. So you start thinking forward. It's forward thinking. How can I save time, make sure people are taken care of? And again, I was taught to take care of myself at the very beginning. Ratliff taught me that. You take responsibility for your own business. You take responsibility for your notes. You take responsibility for recording. And I couldn't record it because I couldn't afford a conference line. I mean, the conference lines were like $200. You know, I couldn't do it. Like $40 a month. I'm like, I ain't doing that. So what did I do, Wayne? I bought a little tape recorder, and I bought an office phone for $15, and I bought the recorder, which actually ended up being like $60, and I recorded. And guys, trust me, just somebody like me talking to you, I'm just I'm paying it forward from all and these, $100,000 earners to $1 billion earners to $1 million earners. It's all I've done has been a reservoir. I've just taken in stuff and put it back out and splashed. That's how you learn. People will figure it out. I guess that's why I get frustrated when somebody calls me and it's like, oh my gosh, type it up. I get frustrated, but I get frustrated, right, Wayne? Why do I get frustrated? Because I typed it up. I used my own ability to think outside the box and figure it out and to get it done. And as Maxwell teaches us, find people that will come to you with 3 questions to solve their issue. Make it mandatory. When they call and ask you something, don't give them the answer, he says. Say, well, Candy, what do you think you should do? What do you think you should do? And let Candy dig for it. Use her own creativeness to start, duplicating in her own mind. And then Candy gives me the answer, or close to it, and then I just polish it up. And I'm like, look at that. You already knew half of it. And she goes, yeah. And what did I just do for her? I built confidence in her. Right?
I remember when you first did that with me, and I'm thinking, oh, God, not another Don Brolin. He was one of my professors.
Well, I just learned it. I learned it here. I learned it through my studies through Maxwell. Yeah. And I think Bob Proctor, too. You do, because you're trying to make people self-sufficient, not dependent.
Yeah.
But you got to help them. Okay, you guys know we're here to help you. Yeah. But I mean, I've said to Wayne, and he knows this. I said, Wayne, you are. I have 100% confidence in your ability. I mean, and I won't tell somebody that unless I meant it. You've got all the pieces. You can do this. We'll get you there, but you've got it, man. And that's truth. If you don't think it's true, don't say it to somebody. But again, we want to help people use their own creativeness, but it's not like you bring somebody in and you say, please guys, don't bring anybody in and go, okay, you're on your own, everything's on the website, see ya. No, don't do that. You know, get them on this call, text me the night before, Jackie, I got a newbie, and they've got $300 to invest in their leads, and they want to order their leads. Would you mind just going over where the scripts are tomorrow with us? And I would say, yes, we'll do it together. Make sure you study where they're at so you can be a part of that leadership. See, I won't do it for them. I want them to be a part of it. So all that person really has to do is go into Switch to Freedom and go, oh, man, okay, they're right here. Okay, now I know where they're at. I'm not going to put them on the spot. I'm just going to say, where do we find them? What do you think? Under the training tab, Wayne? And Wayne would go, yep. And then Wayne, we'd scroll down to, and I would give the name of it. And he'd go, yep, that's exactly right, Jackie. So I'm not going to throw them under the bus, but I want them to be a part of it. I want them to do it with me. So Wayne, when we get this lady Kimberly, after she talks to Neil, we're going to do that partner call together.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to say, Wayne, why don't you do this question and this question in the script? And he's going to say, and just read it from the script. And Wayne's going to say, sure. I'll do the rest. You got to sign them up, Wayne, and you got to send the email, right, Wayne? Wayne's like, yep. And I'll remind him. And I may ask him, so Wayne, what do we do in this cha-ching call? What are we going to do? We're going to sign him up, right? And he's going to say, yep. Right. And where do we do that? And he's going to go, our back office. And I'm going to say, right. And then don't we send him an email, Wayne? And he goes, yep, I got it. It's the welcome email. And I'll say, great. See? So I'm leading him, but I'm letting him contribute, because the only way for it to sink in is for him to be a part of it. Okay? Right. And guys, I have made lots of mistakes doing lots of things for people. Trust me. I have done their whole business for them. Okay? I have done that. And it obviously didn't do them any good. But sometimes I get impatient and like to just get stuff done. And again, that patient thing is one of my downfalls. So, Wayne, I did call your leads, but you will have to call them a second time tomorrow. Okay? So make sure you include my name. Yeah. And you move Darian. She needs to be called back in September. Yeah, I have folders in my Gmail that say January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and I throw leads in there that want to, call them back later. I throw them in there. I also have them in my dialer. And so you get to call them, but just make sure you say, yeah, John Bender, Jackie Anding gave you a call, because I did, and you just leave the message again. So now they got double touched, right? Just like Kimberly, I had called her and you had called her. So now people are like, wow, and you sent her to the VIP and she went into your VIP, but we just had that little bit of a touch. Do we have to do that? No. But for the newbie, it's cool. It gets them set up for success a little bit quicker. Okay? Right. Guys, I'm going to call it quits for today. I just want to say thanks for hanging with me as long as you did. And again, you don't have to. You got business to do too. You got goals to accomplish. Please keep that in mind as well. YouTube, Jackie Anding, all the recordings are here. Tomorrow we'll go over another set of goals and dreams, how we can accomplish those and what to do. Come tomorrow with your story, small, medium, little teeny tiny one, and come tomorrow stating what you're going to do. What are you doing for August? August is tomorrow. What are you doing for August? Hi. Just state what you're doing. Just come on the call and say, this is what I'm doing. If you just want to say what you're doing for the day, or if you want to say what you're doing for the whole month of August, what the goal is, I challenge you to do it. I challenge you to do it. Okay? All right? Oh, yeah. And guys, for the mastermind group, I just want to let you know, we're going to give you another week to prepare your speech. I think that I know I had more than a week to prepare. I actually had, I might even up it. I had like several months to practice. So I thought about that last night. I don't know where it came into my head, and I thought, I probably should give these guys a little bit more time, a couple weeks to get it practiced and do their 5-minute spiel on themselves. I could give some more pointers this Friday to help you guys, and that way you're not like rushed. I wasn't, so why should you?
Tomorrow. Thanks. That helps.
Yeah, you don't have to do it by Friday. Then I'll announce that Friday. And if for all of you that are preparing, and you have it, great. Now you can just kind of go, phew, okay, let me try that again. And again, I'm going to ask you guys this, and I need you guys to, and I'll ask Friday, but do you think, because you're part of this mastermind group, a mastermind group is to challenge you, right? That's what it is, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that I am stepping over the line by saying that everybody has to do their speech? It is a mastermind group, but I thought about that too. I mean, I don't want anybody to throw up or not get on the call because they don't want to be challenged, but we're supposed to challenge each other. What do you think? Think I should ask that to everybody Friday?
Talking about, should you ask everybody to give a speech?
Yeah, on that 5-minute speech on Friday, not this Friday, but in our mastermind group, member on speaking. Do you think I should make that assignment to challenge people? It's supposed to be my job.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think? You do?
I don't think there's any problem with that myself, but then I'm...
Okay. Well, we'll ask Friday. I got 2 of you, and I appreciate your honesty because, it's not like Maxwell said, well, you don't have to do the speech, and I paid him, over, I don't know, $5,000 for a program. Of course, I could have left the room and not done the speech, but I was just curious because I don't want anybody to feel, but how do you grow people if you don't challenge them, right? I mean, how do you can do it? I mean, if you're just like, oh, it's okay, they'll never learn to get confidence with the little story about themselves, right? So, okay. Thanks, Chris and Wayne. I appreciate it.
I would imagine that probably the most challenging thing at all about that speech is the fact that it's about yourself.
Yep. It is the easiest thing to talk about. Rodney taught us that, and he's the professional speaker, one of the best in the world, by the way, if you look him up. He says it's the easiest thing to speak on because you, and you know you can come up with some history on you. I thought the same thing until he dug down and why we do it on ourselves. And I get it because some people don't want to talk about themselves, but he said it's the easiest first speech to do because you know your story. I mean, you know you.
Psychology,
well.
Not what he's talking about.
Yep. So that's why I was just doing the same thing to make people comfortable so they know enough about them that they could come up with a 5-minute spiel. Plus, it gets us to know you better, too. We got to know a lot of people at the convention because they could share they would be very transparent. So it was cool. We built even more rapport with each other when that did happen because a lot of us were we heard some not very good stories, too, some sad stories, but you could relate to them, so it worked out well. But, guys, God bless you. I know, Chris, you're trying to button up the month there with Ian, so let me know if there's anything I can do to help, okay?
Okay.
All right, guys. Signing out of Zoom. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right,
See you
guys.
tomorrow.
Have a nice day.
God bless you too, guys. See ya. Make today count. Get your goals together. See you guys. Bye. Woohoo.